the hardship of clean water in communities.
There's no way you can have any of the pillars under the MGD realized to our water and sanitation. Area where people used to buy water for 25 cents a gallon, those people are now getting water for 10 cents a gallon. And so there's extra 50 cents saving for these people for every gallon of water that they are using.
It gives me a little when we are going to school. The other pump now on our side, the pump is very heavy. Then we can make it quick in the morning with our water, take bath before going to school. So it is all right.
If the hospitals don't have water facility and adequate sanitation, you treat a patient, they leave there with sickness.
The John F. Kennedy Medical Hospital, the country's largest hospital providing medical services to at least 1,000 people each day, is one of the several hospitals that has been provided with clean and safe water. The JFK Hospital, named after the 35th President of the United States, used to be one of the best hospitals in West Africa, but lost that status due to the saver crisis. However, the management is striving to put this life-saving institution back on its feet.
With 100% support from the government, along with the president being our greatest advocate for what we do around here, we've been able to put such systems in place, like starting a very good HIV programs and treating patients with HIV and other forms of communicable diseases. We have a fistula program right now that have also, and we've also started an outreach program as a component of that. We are really training a new cadre of healthcare workers here at JFK, in addition to providing services, clinical services, and trying to meet our mission statements.
Be it healthcare or basic social services, these developmental packages cannot be achieved in the rural areas if those areas are not accessible. Good roads have been a major challenge the government has been faced with.
I want for government, any government to see about the road, up interior road, now Morovia road, now the city road, because we're already in the city. But the up interior road, where the food supposed to come from before we survive in this country. That the one I want for the Latino people to see about it.
There's nothing you can do without roads. You cannot have good education system without roads. You cannot have good agriculture program without roads. You cannot have good health delivery system without roads.
Roads are not only necessary in and of by themselves, but they are actually a catalyst to other growth sectors in the economy.
In order for a town being connected by such a bridge to experience development, the government had to construct a concrete bridge to make this town accessible. Such a town has been shut off for years. The government is still striving to connect various towns and cities across the country. Even though roads have been reconditioned in the city, there is still too much to do, as most of the roads have been damaged due to the lack of maintenance. The government has taken up the challenge and has assured her citizens that roads will be built. In her quest to acquire better roads, the government has seen the need for more qualified civil engineers to foster the rebuilding process. In order to achieve this in a country with an illiteracy rate of over 40%, the Salif-led government has made primary education free to all Liberians.
Kindergarten and elementary education is now free, and efforts are being made to train teachers. Efforts are being made to develop the University of Liberia and other higher education institutions.
I feel proud about her promoting female education in this country, and I really want to congratulate her for doing that.
One major thing we can get a government credit for has to do with the free and primary education that have been offered. Over the years, there are a lot of government that came to this country that have not been able to use it, like bring people resources to build the capacity of the people. Then the next thing, the president being a woman, looking at the women's interests. She promised to build market around the country. Today we see renovation of marketplaces. We see market being around the country. We think that this is what she promised and she's living up to it.
All right, let's clap for this. Come on, watch out through.
From educating the younger ones to empowering the older ones, President Sirleaf is gradually fulfilling her promises. 7 new markets are being constructed and 3 markets have been renovated, including a playground for children within the compound of the Nancy B. Doe Jocklandtown Market.
We have a market that is well built, looking good. We have a bank that at least we can walk to and save our money. At first we used to carry money where you find out posty or you use the money, let's use your money, but for now, right after selling, you can just walk to the bank, deposit your money, and then you go home and your money is safe.
It is one thing to have beautiful markets, but it is another thing to have food in them. Not just food, but affordable food, which will not deny anyone the power of purchasing. If crops are locally grown, they become far cheaper than their imported counterparts. The government, sensitive to the rice inflation across the globe, has deemed it necessary to support local farmers as rice is the country's staple food.
Ministry of Agriculture is supporting small-scale farmers, medium-scale farmers, large-scale farmers. The government has signed a $30 million concession with ADA for mass rice production in Liberia and many others subsequent, trying to make sure that we can resuscitate our agriculture program to make sure that cassava, edos, plantain, all those things.
We pledge to live up to your expectations of creating a government that is attentive and responsive to your needs, concerns, and the development and progress of our country.
It was easy to make the pledge, but it has been a rough and tough road to fulfilling them. There may be a couple of reasons surrounding the slow pace of development, but some citizens blame it on government officials.
I just think that the president is doing too much, and the people around her is not helping her to the best of their ability or what they're capable of doing.
Recently, the government launched an anti-corruption commission to bring to book any official engaged in malpractices. Corruption has been in existence for decades, but President Sirleaf will not allow her government to be eaten up by such fraudulent conduct without her bringing on a fight.
Corruption under my administration will be the major public enemy. We will confront it. We will fight it. Any member of my administration who sees this affirmation as mere posturing or yet another attempt by another Liberian leader to play to the gallery on this great issue should think twice.
It could not have been more emphasized. With so much passion for her country, President Sirleaf aims to see every cent being managed properly in order to lift the hardship her fellow citizens are faced with.
People have to see their country as a country they are proud of, a country they want to work for, a country that has a national identity. Small country, 3.5 million people, richly endowed by God, should not be poor. Every citizen in this country should be able to live in a certain measure of prosperity and development. Why we have not achieved that? That is my biggest challenge, to put us on this irreversible road toward a nation that is prosperous, that is peaceful, that responds to the needs of its citizens.
In spite of all the challenges, the first 1,000 days of the Sirleaf administration has made some progress in improving the general living condition of the Liberian people. Though not everyone will be satisfied with the level of achievement so far, but the fact remains clear: Liberia is gradually improving. Rome, with all its beauty and elegance, was not built in one day, neither in 1,000 days. But with consolidated efforts and sacrifice, it became what it is today.
For the past 25 years, we've been in economic free fall. 14 of those years, we've been in civil conflict. The last 5 years, we've had peace, relative peace, despite all the obstacles. Can we now together build upon that peace, consolidate it, work now toward making Liberia a prosperous place of which we all can be proud? That is a challenge that belongs to every Liberian. I hope we'll all rise to that challenge.